Welcome back, guys. Today we're talking about getting the shot. And when I say that, I mean that photo you've kind of been thinking about and dreaming about getting forever now. Maybe certain obstacles are keeping you from that, or it's too much money to produce, or maybe you don't have the right weather, you don't live in the right location, you don't have the right subject to do it. Today we're going against everything that kind of tells us or says not to go out there and get that photo, and we're gonna get it today. And that's why I have all these packages behind me. They're gonna help me with the photo that I have in mind. So yeah, I have a shoot later today. With summer approaching and it being nicer weather out, I'm trying to get out of the habit of shooting indoors and in studios and go outside like I feel like I used to do, and sort of like fuse together what I've learned throughout shooting in the studio so much recently and combine it with what I know about outdoor shooting. And I have a few photos in mind that I'm basing my inspiration off for this shoot. But let's break into these boxes and I'll show you what I have in mind for the photos I want to get today. So here we go. Let's dive into what all of this is and how it's gonna help us take the photo. So first up is this extra large dust sheet, and this is used for protection of your furniture from like dust, or if you're painting your room or something like that. But today I have it in mind to use it as a backdrop. I feel like I've seen a bunch of photos all over Pinterest that really mesh this sort of really cool plastic element and an outdoor shot. And I did some digging on Amazon just to find something that would replicate that, and this was the best I could find. So hopefully this will come in handy. I may not get to shooting with all these things, but I want to bring them all just in case and see what works. This one is a tablecloth and it has a bunch of different patterns and textures to it. I thought this would be really cool to hold up through direct light and have it kind of cast a shadow onto our model. This next one is this sort of sheer kind of coral color fabric, and I thought this could also make a really cool sort of backdrop, just like the plastic. It could also be really useful as a sort of blanket for the model to sit on and add a pop of color. I do love shooting with color, and the majority of the stuff that I got is pretty neutral, so I wanted to just add a little pop in there. Another one is just another sheer sort of fabric, but it's just a sort of ivory white color that I thought could be useful. And then the other two that I got are also tablecloths. This one is this sort of lace, sort of like wavy patterns to it, and this one another tablecloth that has some floral elements to it. I think I always touch on being over prepared, so I wanted to get a bunch of different stuff to see what will work and what won't work. The model that I'm shooting today is also really good at styling. She owns a vintage shop, so she's gonna be bringing along some outfits, and I'm not even sure what yet she's gonna bring, so I feel like going with the neutral backdrops and the neutral sort of patterns here will hopefully work with whatever she ends up bringing herself. So I'm gonna pack my bag, I'm gonna change because it's pretty hot out, and I'll be driving outside of the city for this shoot, so I'm super excited to just be able to play off of natural light and the location that we're at. I'm gonna quickly walk you through what I'm bringing with me on this shoot. Mind you, I definitely have some what's in my camera bag videos here on my channel, so if you want an in-depth sort of tour, definitely go watch one of those, but this is just gonna be a quick little look. Right over here I have a bunch of extra memory cards, I have some microphones over here, extra batteries, and then some cables for my mics. This right here is my 70 to 200 millimeter f 2.8 lens. My Z7 II camera body is right here. What will go in this empty space is my 24 to 70 f 2.8 lens, but I'm filming with it right now. I have some more memory cards here. This is some click gels for my flashes, some lens filters right here, and then in here is all my flash stuff. This is the A2, A1, and then my Profoto Connect. I'm obsessed with all of these lens filters that I have. I get all my lens filters from Prism Lens Effects. They recently sent over their solar flare filter, and this one has all these really cool sort of ribbon-like designs that react to really bright highlights to create certain flares. So I haven't shot with it yet, but I'm really excited to try it out maybe today. Other than that, this is some of the continuous light stuff that I'm bringing with me. Over here I have Zhiyun's Molus X60, and then moving on I have an adapter and then some modifiers. I'm bringing the adapter because this is the Westcott optical spot. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this because I feel like outside it's kind of gonna just be a bit heavy and we're probably going to be moving a lot, so I'm just bringing it with me in my car in case. I'm just bringing it all and we're going to see what I end up using. amazing. I had another shoot actually a few days ago outside, and I didn't end up using a lot of my flashes and my continuous lights because it was super sunny out, so we were just using a reflector the whole time to bounce the light off of where it wasn't onto the model. And that's another thing I'll be bringing for sure. A reflector that's already just in my car waiting for me downstairs. But yeah, I feel like this light on its own is really powerful, really small, and will help me on this pretty cloudy day that we're gonna encounter. Let's bring all of this to the car and then get on our way. So I headed down to the garage and packed up my car with all the things. It also ended up being sunny, so a lot of those lights that I packed ended up really not being useful, and we just opted for natural light and using that reflector as well. I also went along with my friend Allie, who is a photographer as well. I'll leave her Instagram down below so you can see how her photos turned out. We then picked up the model, Montana, and headed out of the city. Like I said, she owns a vintage shop, so she brought along a ton of options to shoot. So before we headed into the park, we just figured out kind of what we wanted her wearing so she didn't have to lug all of that around. All right, we made it to the trail, and we're absolutely living for the variety that it's giving. Like, there's waterfalls and tall grass and like just really cool stuff that looks really great in photos, and it's kind of like partly sunny, partly cloudy, so the lighting is just working really well. Everything is just going amazing, and we're having the best time.